Luke was only 5, but he loved all animals. He especially loved horses. He had books and toys and drawings of them all over his room. But real horses. The big ones made him feel a bit wobbly inside, just like the feeling he got when the other children in his class didn't want to play with him. One sunny morning, Luke and his mum visited a field near the woods. A group of tall, shiny horses stood together, swishing their tails and trotting proudly. But Luke stayed close to the gate, gripping Mum's hand tight. Then he saw something. In the far corner of the field, behind a tree stump, stood a smaller horse. The horse was white and had a white mane and a white tail too. He had a mop of messy hair, big, gentle eyes, and the saddest little tail you ever saw. "What's his name?" Luke whispered. The farmer chuckled. "Oh, that one? That's Malcolm. The other horses won't let him join in. He's too little, see?" Luke let go of Mum's hand. He tiptoed across the field, past the big horses, all the way to the quiet corner. Malcolm looked up and didn't run away. Luke smiled. So did Malcolm. They both felt calm. They both felt safe. From that day on, Luke and Malcolm saw each other every week. Luke brought carrots. Malcolm brought Snuffles and Happy Winnies. They were the best of friends. But the big horses still didn't want to play. Then came the storm. Luke heard about it on the television news, and he was worried for Malcolm and the other horses. Luke ran to his mum and begged her to let him go to the field to help the horses, but Mum said no. It wasn't safe for a little boy to go out in a storm, she said. But if it wasn't safe for a little boy, then it wasn't safe for a little horse either, Luke thought. He waited until Mum had climbed the stairs to take a shower, grabbed his bright yellow raincoat, and dashed out into the storm to save the horses. Wind whooshed through the trees, and the horses bolted and huddled together. Luke saw them and wondered how he'd get them to follow him. He ran towards the end of the field, waving his arms and calling them to follow. Just as he thought it was working, Luke slipped and fell into a muddy ditch that was quickly filling with water. The biggest of the horses, a huge black stallion called Sydney, saw Luke fall and dash towards the ditch. Without stopping to think, Sid leapt into the air and splashed down into the ditch. But there was a problem. Sid realised that he too was stuck. He couldn't climb out. The big horses were too heavy, too tall, and too scared to reach the edge. But Malcolm was small, Malcolm was nimble, and Malcolm was brave. He trotted down the slope, nuzzled the stuck horse gently, and led it towards Luke, where the little lad clambered up onto Malcolm's back, and the little white horse led them to the safe side, one small step at a time. The big horses stared in amazement. Then they cheered in the way horses do, with lots of neighs and snorts. From that day forward, Malcolm wasn't left out of the fun again. He ran and galloped with the herd, and sometimes led the way. And Luke's friends had heard the story of his brave effort to save Malcolm, and now everyone wanted to play with Luke. But Luke still liked the quiet corner of the field best, because that's where Malcolm always came to say hello. A little friend can do very big things.